time for the news. We got some good news this week, or at least I think's interesting. Let me bring it up here. An environmental accident at a pond at a golf course has left a widow in the Villages with a home that has been difficult for her to sell. Paul and Linda Laughlin bought their courtyard villa in 2004 in Villa Bira in the Villages of Polo Ridge. You remember Polo Ridge? Sue and I did a video not too long ago. We went up there and drove through Polo Ridge. Nice area, very close to Southern Trace Shopping Center. So if you like shopping and restaurants and want to be able to take your golf cart and go there and have easy access to it, Polo Ridge is a good area. They enclosed their lanai and turned it into a very large Florida room with windows that look out onto the retention, it says bond, but retention pond at the Stirrup Cup golf course. I assume that's an executive course. Paul Laughlin died in 2018 and his widow has decided to downsize. Pretty typical. Let me real quick say, the average person here buys the home 3 times. People say, well, that's crazy, and it's not. I'm on my second home, and I can see a third one in the future. But you buy your first home, it's usually a villa because it's basically a part-time home. You decide to come down in the winter months only, or you use it for, like Sue and I did, as a vacation home, basically. She was retired years before I was. So I came down on vacations and things like that. Once I moved here and decided I wanted to be here full-time, I moved into a little bit of a larger home, garage space and so on. If I should die first, or maybe she should pass away first, I lose half that income. And so, yes, I could see me selling this for a larger amount of money and then downsizing to a smaller home if I stay here for a smaller amount of money. So that'd be my third home. And so that's pretty typical of a lot of them. She put the villa on the market to receive 2 offers, but both potential buyers said they would not buy the home due to the condition of the retention pond, which has become overgrown near the Laughlin home. Linda Laughlin went to Glenview Country Club and learned that there had been an environmental accident which accelerated the growth of the foliage in the section of the pond close to her home. Well, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but remember, I've said it before that when you buy a home that overlooks a pond, it's a preserve basically, and just because it looks that way today doesn't mean it's always going to look like that. There's been a lot of argument about views being lost, and they are arguing all the time about who's responsible for cleaning up the ponds and everything. Some of the ponds, I think, if they're not declared a habitat for animals, some of the ponds I do believe can be taken care of by the maintenance department of some sort, whoever it may be, your district maintenance or whatever. But a lot of them, they can't touch them because they're been declared to be habitats for animals. And if they are, you can't cut a tree, you can't trim a bush, you can't even go out there in your backyard if there's a fence there that keeps your house separate from that pond, or if that's not on your property, which most ponds are not. All ponds are not, as far as I know. You can't even spray mosquito repellent out there. You can be fined. So just know that the view you're paying prime dollar for today may not be there 10 years from now. So if you buy along a view area where there's a lot of brush, a lot of trees, a lot of shrubbery, those things are going to grow, and the day's going to come, your view's going to be gone, and you're going to have the same complaint. I don't know what the answer is, but I can tell you, if you're going to buy a house here and pay top dollar for a view, just know that before you go into that deal of buying that property. 2 women taken to Leesburg Hospital after collision in the Villages. It's that time of year. Snowbirds are coming down here, and there's going to be wrecks every day now. Every day there'll be a wreck somewhere, mostly in a roundabout, but they'll be around shopping areas. Be very, very careful when you come down. Resident of the Villages jailed after skipping court date. Remember I told you that there's a lot of people here that have useless children living with them, causes all kinds of problems, or people that buy homes here to rent out. They rent them to anybody. They don't care. They turn their property over to a management company. Oh, by the way, beer of the day. Can you see it? Boston Lager. I haven't had a beer in quite a while. Been busy taking care of Sue and all the things that she normally does. Mopping floors, cooking dinners, going grocery shopping, doing laundry, folding clothes. stuff. Anyway, they turn their house over into a management company and they just rent it to anybody. They don't care. I'm telling you, they don't care. They don't care about the neighbors. They don't care about the neighborhood. They don't care about this being a retirement community. It's all about keeping that cash rolling in every week. And I don't respect those people at all for doing that. But here he is. There's his picture. That's the village resident right there. I don't think I got to say anything. Sumter County to pay nearly $50 million for regional roads in the villages of Southern Oaks. Remember the lady that hit the bicyclist, the two bicyclists? This came out almost within hours of them searching for this lady, or this person who hit the bicyclist. I'm just reporting it today because I only do so much per day on videos, and so I just waited till later. Anyway, I got a lot of emails wanting to know if they ever found that lady. Well, the answer is yes. But the story is there were two bicyclists riding their bicycles, a man and a woman. This lady hit them, both of them. She stopped her car, got out of the car, walked back, and saw him. I don't know if there was any conversations that were exchanged. I don't know any of that. But then she got back in the car and fled the scene. So there's the big no-no, right? So anyway, the APP went out for him and they found her. There she is, right there. Focus, right there she is. 89-year-old villager arrested in bicycle hit and run crash. An 89-year-old villager was arrested after a hit-and-run crash of two bicyclists in the villages. Marilyn Jean Hamilton has been arrested by the Florida Highway Patrol on October 30th. Hit-and-run crash that left 60-year-old Jessica, I want to say Lobb, of the village of Dunedin with a serious head injury. Her husband, 68-year-old Robert Hunter, had been riding with her on Morse Boulevard and also was struck by Hamilton's white Mercedes. Hamilton reportedly got out of the car, saw the crumpled cyclist on the roadway, got back in the Mercedes, and drove away. According to the witnesses of the Florida Highway Patrol, the Mercedes had damage to the front and windshield. The 2014 Mercedes-Benz was located at a repair facility in Gainesville. Hamilton, a resident of the villages of Fernandina, was facing 2 counts of leaving the scene of a crash with injury. She was booked at Sumter County Detention Center and released after posting a $10,000 bond. Gainesville. I'm not making judgments here because those of you that own Mercedes, let me just tell you that the village is not Mercedes friendly as far as getting work done. I have a friend that's a Mercedes nut. He has Mercedes of everything. His latest purchase is a Mercedes SUV of some sort. And he has to go to Orlando a lot to get things done. So Gainesville might be the next town that even has a Mercedes dealership. And if she bought the Mercedes there, that might be why she went there. Or she thought if she took it far away to get the work done, nobody would find her. Who knows? The investigation. But point is, she got caught. She'll pay the price. Here's another one. Driver of a Jaguar who allegedly hit village's bicyclist behind bars. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There you go. Can you see him? There you go. A suspect who was allegedly driving a Jaguar that struck a villager on a bicycle and fled the scene has been arrested. William Joseph Croup, 59, of Orange Springs, was being held at the Sumter County Detention Center following his arrest Sunday on charges of hit and run, drug possession, possession of drug equipment. Croup was reportedly behind the wheel of a silver 2003 Jaguar shortly before 7 a.m. Tuesday when his vehicle hit 61-year-old Ken Nevers of the villages of Finney, who was riding in the multimodal lane on Hillsborough Trail near the Manatee Rec Center. That's just down the road. The arrest report for Croup has not yet been made available to the media, but the Florida Highway Patrol has confirmed he is the man who had been sought in the hit-and-run case. Nevers suffered a broken rib, separated shoulder, stitches to the forehead, and lost a lot of skin. Dude, I feel your pain being a motorcycle rider. Man. So I was on Hillsborough on the far right of the golf cart lane when I noticed a Jaguar behind me completely in the golf cart lane. The driver accelerated and mowed me down. I was right up against a curb and had no escape. I was told my head bounced off the windshield, splitting my helmet in half as I rolled off the driver's side hood onto the pavement. The driver accelerated and never looked back. All three of the injured villagers, the two that I told you about, plus this guy that hit the bicycles, all three of the injured villagers are members of the Sumter Landing Bicycle Club, whose members are known to be extremely safety conscious. Well, most members might be, but I've seen a few. And I don't know if they're members or not actually, but some of the bicyclists around here. And like I said, we're getting a snowbird season, so I don't care who you are. I don't care where you go. I don't care what you drive or what you ride. Be very careful this time of year. Oh, did I show you the guy's picture? I don't remember. Did I? The guy that in the Jaguar? I think I did. Yeah, I think I did. You don't need to see anymore. 78-year-old villager jailed without bond after violating a DUI probation. Villager jailed after Facebooking woman and following her to restaurant. I gotta tell you, for retirement community, I mean, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. But if you was gonna retire to a retirement community, especially a planned retirement community, would you expect any of this? I don't know. Maybe I live in a shallow world or something. I don't know, but I just wouldn't expect all this. Sumter County Sheriff's deputies responded shortly before 8 a.m. Friday to the Burger King restaurant on Wedgwood Lane. That's up at the big shopping center, where a woman reported she was being followed by 65-year-old Michael William Pasori, who lives on Silver Oak Avenue on the historic side of the Villages. The woman, who has an injunction against Pasori, apparently she's had trouble with this guy for a while, that after a student drop-off at the Villages charter school, she had crossed County Road 466 and went to Burger King for breakfast. She noticed Pasori in a gold Prius and called 911. The woman showed deputies that Pasori sent her 136 messages through Facebook in violation of the injunction. God, I don't know, man. I just don't know. Are these people just stupid, or did they just get stupid? I don't know. There he is. VCCDD to spend $1 million to buy fuel depot from developers company. I bet that's a done deal, because it doesn't say considering spending. It says VCCDD to spend $1 million to buy fuel depot. Bandit sought after Florida Blue golf cart goes missing from Villages Health Clinic. And here we are getting back to this golf cart thieves again. 83-year-old villager released from jail on his own recognizance. This is a guy we've talked about several times. It's got some kind of a problem. I don't even want to say. He's been arrested so many times. He's been literally trespassed from all government centers, from Leesburg to Lady Lake. And I think he's been trespassed into villages like literally everywhere. All the town squares, all the rec centers, I think almost all the country clubs. Now tell me, that's not normal, right? Villager arrested after found passed out in golf cart with bottle of vodka. There she is. A villager was arrested after she was found passed out in a golf cart with a bottle of vodka. Sumter County Sheriff's deputies were called at 12:23 p.m. Sunday to the 1400 block of Red Ash Place in the village of Duval. The village of Duval, as of right now, is the largest village in all of the villages until they get Southern Oak built. Then that will be the largest. Where 67-year-old Pamela Maroney slouched over in a black Yamaha golf cart. According to an arrest report, there was an open bottle of Smirnoff vodka near her feet. After she was woken up, she was fidgeting and said she did not know where she lived. You know you've had too much to drink when you can't remember where you live. The Village of Duval resident who purchased her home on Blossom Terrace in 2015. So she's lived somewhere going on maybe 5 years, or maybe a little over 5 years, and she forgot where it was at. Declined to participate in the field sobriety exercises and provided breath samples that registered 1.97. Last year, Maroney lost her driver's license for 6 months after she was found with a half-empty 200 milliliter bottle of Smirnoff vodka. Man, she likes her vodka. Under the seat of her Buick, which was parked at Cody's at Lake Sumter Landings. Earlier this year, the Minnesota native was ticketed after her Buick collided with a golf cart, leaving the driver of that vehicle with head trauma. She also was convicted in 2014 on a charge of driving under the influence in Minnesota. She was booked on a felony charge of DUI charge. Bond was set at $10,000. Village of Hemingway's couple's son jailed after allegedly stalking women. That's it. Bring your sick, perverted children down here in a retirement community to live. Here, let me show you a picture of this young man that likes to stalk women. Come on. There he is. A Village of Hemingway couple's son was arrested after allegedly stalking a woman. Michael Innes, 46, was taken into custody at about 10 p.m. Sunday at the home of his parents at 2736 Midland Terrace. The woman told Sumter County Sheriff's deputies that in October she had asked Innes to cease all communication with her. However, he continued to send long text messages to her, which she showed to deputies. She also said that her new boyfriend discovered a note from Innes on the handle of his vehicle. When the Cincinnati, Ohio was being booked at the jail, he should have said Cincinnati, Ohio resident, doesn't say. Anyway, he was asked if he was in possession of anything that would be considered contraband. He said he was not. However, a small clear baggie containing cocaine was found in the pocket of his pants. He claimed that the pants were not his and belonged to his friend. He was arrested and charged with stalking, smuggling contraband to a detention facility. He was booked at the Sumter County Detention Center on $2,500 bond. You know, to me, whether they're guilty, not guilty, whether they're convicted, don't get convicted, that's not my call. But I read some of these bonds sometimes about people that get arrested over and over and over again. Somebody gets arrested on a drug charge like this cocaine charge. Maybe it's an amount, I don't know. But this $2,500 bond for somebody that's in possession of drug paraphernalia and was charged for trying to sneak contraband into a jail. Doesn't that sound like too little? It sounds too little to me, because really, I don't know if you guys know how bonds work, but I assume they work the same everywhere. But here, there's a bail bondsmen that work at these jails. Their phone numbers are everywhere. And when you go in, you call one of them. It's almost like a email text kind of thing. They will bond you out. All you have to do is put up 10% of that money. $2,500 means this person put up $250 and got out of jail. He has to go to court on a certain date, or that bondsman will have to pay that $2,500. I believe that's how it works. Or that bondsman has to go get him. And usually that's what they do, I think. They go get him because he don't want to pay that $2,500. But that just seems way too cheap to me. It just seems to me that it'll be much, much, much higher. Just my opinion, that's all. Woman arrested after allegedly stealing items from ex-husband's grave. I ain't gonna get into this too much, but that's despicable to me. And I've heard this from other people from everywhere, that they put something on their loved one's grave. Children, their father, their mother, their grandfather, whatever the case. They go back a week or two later to visit the grave again, and the items that was there are gone. And they talk to the caretakers of the graveyard, and they tell them, no, we don't take those particular things. If it's some graveyards where they have the flat headstones, a lot of times they will clean that area up to mow. But I know people that's had items placed on the headstone, like, I don't know what you call them, flowers that has like a little wire thing that drapes over the headstone so they won't be on the ground or in the way. And they go back and I know a lady that actually found her flowers on another person's grave, but because she couldn't prove those were her flowers, they didn't do anything. I just think that's despicable that people does that. A Brooklyn native is serving jail time after a brawl at home in the Villages. Looks like the village of Glenbrook. Oh, lovely. This guy looks like he's doing well. As my mother would call him, he looks unkept. A Brooklyn native is serving 60 days in jail after a brawl with a woman at the home of his late mother. See, he's moved in his mommy's house. Just another ongoing problem that gets out of control in the older sections because people die off, grandkids and stuff move in, and then all of a sudden the rules are out the window. David Dickomeat, something like that, 60, was arrested September 27th at the home on Wheeling Way in the village of Glenbrook. Last month in Sumter County Court, Dickomeat was ordered to serve 60 days behind bars. He has been lodged at the jail since his arrest in September. Sumter County Sheriff's deputies responded to the scene after a woman called 911 claiming she had been attacked by Dickomeat. She said Dickomeat had been pounding on a bedroom door. When she opened the door, he pulled her from the room, then pushed her shoulder, causing her to stumble back into the bedroom. Dickomeat's mother purchased the home in 2007. She died August. His father, who also was a villager, died in 2015. So this decrepit individual got the house and moved into the villages. Village of Poinciana resident sentenced on drunk driving charge. Oh, another fine-looking individual. Look at him. Unkept. A resident of the village of Poinciana will lose his driver's license for 6 months after his vehicle was spotted in the golf cart lane of a roadway in the villages. Herman Lee Langley, 38, in a retirement community. He's 38. I don't care what the law allows. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Who lives at 1562 Hancock Street in the Sullivan Villas, but it's probably a rental, come think about it. You got to be really careful about living in an area where there's a lot of rentals, because if they're owned by the management company or run by the management company, I'm telling you, they don't care. Who was behind the wheel of a Ford Escape, which was spotted shortly before 1 a.m. September 24, stopped partially in the golf cart lane on Benina Boulevard, not far from the village's Public Safety Department fire station. The engine was running and the vehicle's windows were down, according to the arrest report from the Sumter County Sheriff's Office. Langley was slumped over in the vehicle with his chin on his chest. After he was roused, the Oak Ridge, Tennessee native was invited to participate in field sobriety exercises. He stumbled from his vehicle and struggled through the exercise. At one point, he complained, "I couldn't do that if I was a ballet dancer." Where do they come up with these lines? Langley provided breath samples that registered 2.84 and 2.72 blood alcohol content. A check revealed that he had been convicted of a DUI charge in 2007 in Arizona. Last month in Sumter County, Langley pleaded no contest in the case. He was placed on probation for 1 year and ordered to perform 50 hours of community service in addition to the loss of his driver's license. Well, that's good that he's losing his license. He don't need him. He don't deserve him. But I will tell you, in the state of Florida, especially here in the villages and around the villages, it seems like people getting arrested every day or charged every day with operating a vehicle with no driver's license or suspended driver's license. It happens all the time. So this guy don't care. Nobody else cares. I think they don't care because I don't think the penalties are severe enough. But that's just my opinion. Sumter County abolishes tax that helps fund music at town squares. So they're not paying for any of the entertainment at any of the town squares anymore. What does that mean to us as villagers? Not sure. 78-year-old villager arrested in long-running feud with neighbor. Woman heads to sheriff's annex to report being choked by beer-tossing man. I'm not reading all these stories because you can see how repetitive this is. The villages sticks residents with cost of landscaping upkeep. Boy, a little bit at a time, they just keep taking away. People buy here for a specific reason. A lot of it is because how the landscapes look, the neatness of everything, all that kind of stuff. And it starts up in the older area, and the developer will take things away from you. And I'm not sure how that works. Orange Blossom Pool at the country club used to be a neighborhood pool. Then all of a sudden it started up there. It turned into a priority pool. You had to buy a pass. Took it away. And it's just a lot of things they took away. I mean, that's all I'm saying. Here's another one. After 14 years of living here in the villages and having the village's management take care of the back of our house here in Chesney Place, the village's management has decided that they are not going to take care of the tree trimming, clipping of the hedges, and the repair of painting of the fence that borders the cemetery. A lot of people don't know that. I know where it is. I wish I hadn't read that because that was was a video I was going to do. It may not interest anybody, but there's actually a cemetery in the Villages that very few people know about. There's a story behind that cemetery. I've been kind of investigating a little bit, and I was going to go up there with Sue, and we was going to walk around the cemetery and kind of show you what's there and maybe give you a couple of little stories there. And then the accident happened and I never made it. But anyway, the Villages, which is a multi-million-dollar concern, can't afford the landscaping and upkeep of the fence anymore, but they will take care of the hedges and fence that shows on Stillwater. Furthermore, a resident pulled the hedges out, and now the Village's management wants the resident to replace them. I think this is injustice to the residents of Chesney Place. We pay amenity fees, and I think the fees should cover the maintenance of the above-mentioned concern. The amenity fees don't have anything to do with trimming hedges and all that. I don't know where you're getting that idea. Whoever wrote this, here is Tom Edge, the Village of Caroline. I lived in the Village of Caroline. That's where we had our little villa for a while. It's a great area, great location. It's quiet because they don't have what you would call a cut-through street for every delivery truck and people to go to and from work to go up and down that road every day. And I like the Village of Caroline. It's right there next to Mallory. Mallory used to be my favorite country club to go to. Well, because it was down the road. I could take my golf cart there in 2 minutes and have lunch or dinner or whatever. I thought Mallory was a great place. No, don't get things mixed up. Amenity fees don't have anything to do with bush. That's your maintenance fees and things. And I'm not sure why I don't know how they can say we're not going to maintain a bush that they own, because by telling the owners they want them to put the bush back in there, I assume they must own them or they couldn't tell a person to put them back in there. That sounds like you need to talk to your district supervisors and get some straight answers. And that might mean making phone calls over and over and over again till they get so sick of hearing from you they finally look into it. Or raise a really big stink. Seriously, raise a really big stink. Tear all the bushes out. Make the developer go crazy. Force him to take you to court about damages or something, and then show him where he sent you a letter or something refusing to do the maintenance on something that he wants you to replace, and let a judge decide what to do. Just saying, that's all. That's about enough news, I think. I was thinking there was another important Villages news that I wanted to tell you, and if there is, one, with my old bind, I done forgot what it was, and two, I can't find it, so maybe there wasn't any at all. So with that being said, I'm going to eat I don't know if you can see it or not, my pizza just came to the door a while ago with my beer. Quick little ending to this video is I am working on setting things up to maybe Sue can go live, and then you guys can talk to her, ask her how she's doing, send your best wishes, whatever. I haven't done that yet. I know I promised to do that. Or I didn't promise. I said, well, I'm going to try to do it this week, and it just hasn't really worked out. It's just been one problem after another, really. So I am going to try to get it set up to do that maybe this weekend. A lot depends on the people that come to the darn thing. I never know what day is good. I never know what time is good because like I've said before, I don't like doing lives when only 10 people show up. If I can't go live and get quite a few people to show up, to me it's just a big waste of time. But I am going to plan on going live. I got to get things set up because she can't walk, and if I like to do it in here, it's just I got everything set up in here, you know, with the mics and everything. But I may not be able to. I don't know. I'm working on it. I'll do the best I can do. But that being said, I'm going to get out of here and I'm going to tell you once again, I will see you on the other side.